Okay, so thank you all for getting here and getting here on time. I appreciate it very much. Even though you guys aren't physically here, it means a heck of a lot to me that that you're here, you know, in essence. So here's what we have so far. All right, I'm going to pull up the plans so you can take a look. Hold on, I got Logan's coming in. Okay, let me pull up the plans. There's two more people that haven't shown up. There's one right there, and one more. We'll see if they show up. So let's pull up the plans and take a look at where I am, or where we are. I shouldn't say I am. Where's my plans? Hold on. I got to get the plans pulled up. I thought I had them pulled up. There we go. All right, there we go. So, all right, so here's what we've got so far. So, yesterday, we took the sides that we had laminated and then thicknessed and ran them on the CNC. So all the joinery here for the shelves, the joinery for the top, these dados, and then all the joinery for the tambour door itself. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. So this huge gap back here is how we insert the tambour door once this whole thing's put together. This will be the front of the cabinet, obviously. And this false back right here fits in this dado and blocks the view of the tambour when it's in the open position. So all the tambour will be back here to here, and this false back right here, which is this piece, will fit in this dado right here. So let's take a look and see what we have, okay? So here's the two sides. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It looks like the mic's working okay. All right, so here's the two sides. All machined out, ready to go. You can imagine the amount of work that would have gone into this if we did it by hand. I mean, these pieces, this back guy right here could have been done on the dado saw, but what we have here, this is where the false back's gonna sit. It would have been a stopped dado that had to stop here and here. So that would have been a little difficult. That probably would have had to happen on the router table or with a handheld router and an edge guide, okay? This would have been incredibly difficult, okay? It would have required making a template, okay? And getting the template dead on right and getting the template placed in the exact same spot on both sides would have been horrendous. So thank you, Mr. CNC, for making it easier on us, okay? So here's our two sides. You can kind of see how they'll work, okay? It's hard for me to see what you guys can see. There we go, okay? Our tambour will get installed here this way. This will be the front of the cabinet and closed position. So we've got those two sides, all right? I also have the material for the case top, thickness, rip to width, and everything. Okay. Then we've got this first shelf. Okay, you can see the dados. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a dado here and a dado here. That's going to sit here. All right. Then there is a matching piece that sits here with dados in it. There's a divider and a divider. There will be 3 drawers here. Okay. And then there's the bottom piece here. There's a single dado in the underside of this. So there will be 2 larger drawers. Okay. Down here. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the joinery, the rabbets at each end of these pieces, including the top. That's going to allow them to sit down into these dados. We're also going to do the dados here for the dividers. Okay. So that's what we're doing. And there goes the top. So that's what we're doing today, okay? So we're gonna move over the dado saw. Hopefully this thing is programmed right. And it should be number 2, so 2, call. All right, so here's our dado saw, okay? I'll zoom in on it a little bit. All right, so let's get going. Okay, so we take our plans with us, obviously. We're going to take these 4 guys. And we're going to take one of the sides as well, because we're going to want to fit these as perfectly as we can. So since there's nobody here, I get to use this awesome cart to hang on to stuff and move it around. So this is going to be what I'm fitting into. All right, and here's my pieces. Okay. So we're going to start with the top. We need to put a little rabbet here, a little rabbet here. According to the plans, that rabbet is sized 3/8 wide, 3/8 deep. Okay. So actually, I don't really need to do that. I can leave it just like it is. We just need to go to 3/8 deep. So whenever we change the height on the blade, we always want to raise up to the height as opposed to lowering the blade to get our height. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and go just a little shy of 3/8 deep so we can test fit this. I'd rather take too little off than too much off. Okay, so we also need a mark at 3/8, and we have one. Let's transfer that mark. Please stay with me. Don't leave me alone in here. I would really appreciate it. All right, so let's set this rabbet up. All right, we're ready to move. This rabbet is going to be on every one of these pieces. All right, so there we go. Careful. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, let's run one. So what I want to do is take a look at how this fits. All right. So I'm guessing we need to take some more off. Yep, go a little deeper. Rather have to raise it 3 or 4 times and get it right than take too much off. Quite a bit more. Jeez, we are a long way off, folks. A little more. Getting there. Starting to drop in. And there we are. Little That's a little tight. I think that's going to be it right there. All right, so that gets us in, okay? Nobody else showed up? Good. All right, so we got to get those on. Cut the rest of the dados, or rabbits, I'm sorry. And I'm going to check them as I go. That's good. I've marked the surface these need to be on so I don't screw up too bad. So that doesn't fit the way it should. Okay, but I'm going to leave that because I'm going to clean it up with a hand plane. I'd rather do it that way than really mess it up. Last one. Wow. A lot of tear out. All right. So we've got those done. Now we need to do these dados. Okay, so there's 2 dados on this piece. There's matching dados on the next piece. So we're going to move this out of the way. We've got a 3/8 inch deep dado that's 3/4 wide. That's a 3/4 stacked dado set in there. The nice thing about using a temporary stop like this is we can shift the board over to get a smaller rabbit using a large stacked set, and then we're ready to go with the dados, okay? So we're going to set this up where we need to be. There we go. Bring it back. Come on. All right. So this dado is the same distance from this end as this one is. So it's going to be simply run this one, turn it, run the next one. Okay. So we've got them on the right side. Let's do this. That chips out really bad. Oak. Ah, it's terrible. That one's done. I only marked the location of the dados on that one piece, but I just wrote it here so I know which side I need to put it on. Ah, it's tearing out terribly. All right, I have 2 more dados. Got a center dado on this one, and on this one for the divider between the 2 larger shelves. So I've got it marked right here. Just gonna slide her over. This is a little sketchy because it's centered on the board. It's gonna be harder to hold in place, but there we are. So the interesting thing is I want to make sure, so this is going to sit this way. So I want to make sure and I put an X here. And I put an X here. This board's going to sit, this is actually very important. I'm glad I remembered this. It's going to sit like this. So I want to make sure the same end of the boards, the matching end of the boards are against the fence. So if I'm off a little bit, it's going to be off in the same direction on both of them. In other words, if I put this board on here like this, and this one this way, and I was a 1/4 inch off, they're going to be off in opposite directions. So I'm going to keep that X against the fence, keep an X against the fence, and that'll remind me when I get ready for assembly where it's supposed to go. I'm glad I thought of that. All right, so let's redo this. I didn't set the fence. Okay, there we are. Set our fence. And hang on. All right, X against the fence, dado on that side. All right. All right, there we go. That's all of them. That's all of them. Let's see what we got. So I'm gonna ask you guys a couple questions when I get back over there. Okay. So let's get her logged in. All right. Okay, so a couple questions for you guys. I want you guys to put your answers in here. Just trying to make sure you guys are still here. Okay. I had the questions when I was standing over there. Now I've lost them. Well, let's take a look and see what we've got for fit. Okay. So I'm going to sit while I'm doing this because I'm old and I can. So we've got to check final fit. And like I said, that first one fit really nice. And we'll see how the rest fit. I think they might be a little bit thick. Okay, but we'll see. All right. I knew one of the questions I want to ask you guys. All right. I don't know if you noticed or not, or if you heard me, or if you were even listening, but those dados created a lot of tear out as that blade exited the board. You guys see if you can come up with some ways that would allow us to reduce that sort of chip out as the blade exits. Okay. There are things you can do. Look at that. That's right there. It's beautiful right there. Maybe tape, etching it, right? Scoring it, right? Those are both good ones. It would help if the dado set was sharp. There's a very easy way to do it. It kind of ensures that it's going to be good, and that is having a backer board behind that board when you run the dado. In other words, you got a piece of scrap wood that is sitting against the fence, right? That wood is supporting the wood fibers on this, and that piece of scrap is the one that gets blown out. So this is the bottom. This is number 2. So nope, I need number 1. This is number 1 right here. See, I actually numbered them. Let's see what we get here. Is she going to drop in? I don't want to force it. There's a tiny bit of warp to that board. So what we're going to do is we're going to take just a little bit. It's hitting down here and here. And it's also hitting right here in the middle. So I'm going to take a little bit off. Remember to always set your hand plane lying on its side. That's going to be too tight still. Never lay it on its sole. A little bit off the other side. That might just do it. Let's see. There we go. C2 is our next one. I'm guessing it's that one. See how this one fits? Same problem. We're going to take a little bit off this end. See what we got here. There we go. Dropped right in. Okay. And the last one. Probably going to be the same situation. And we're hitting there. All right. Take a little off that. Is that my, oh, here's what I did wrong. My X is up here on this one. My X is here on this one, so it's going to have to be this end that we're working on. Almost jacked that up. Okay, we're tight at that end. There we go. Drops right in. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. You guys have any questions about this so far, or ideas, or anything, any input you want to? Okay, sucrose, yeah. Get better internet sucrose, that's what you do. Just, you got to pay more. So we're going to have the same issue on the other side. All right, so we've got these to fit. Let's check out the other side. We'll just do it one at a time. Front. That one fits okay. Front. Same problem here, so take a little off. We'll give this edge just a little nudge. Drops right in. Okay. This one here is going to go here. Where's my X? Okay, it's going to be right. Okay. Here's this one. Let's try and get out of the way. Same thing here. Take a little off. Let's give this guy a little kiss. And she drops right in like butter. Same thing, just a little bit. It's much nicer to have a little bit of material to work with when it comes to fitting these things, as opposed to having to try to find some way to shim it and make something fit in there when it's loose. It makes life a little nicer to have it fit right. A little tight there. That's going to be a little tight. Let's take a little more off that one. Okay. Keep forgetting there's a camera and that you guys probably have no desire to see my backside. I know I wouldn't. All right, let's get that in there. All right, that fits nice. Oh, there's something keeping it from going all the way down. There might be some. Well, nothing. We'll tear more. Try it one more time. Come on. There we go. That dropped right in. All right. Think we can get the other side on? Let's try. There we go. That's good. Let's lay this down. I want to get it flush at the front. Throw a clamp or two on it. See what we get. See how it looks from the front. That way we don't have to worry about it falling apart. We can take some off this other cabinet. It's been drying for a couple hours. I don't know what time it is. If somebody wants to yell at me when they check the time here or there, That'd be nice. I should be able to hear you because I'm not spending much time looking at the screen.
It's 10:32, Brandon.
Okay, cool. How's the rolling door going to get made? That's a really, really good question. The way it's made, and we've done several of these before. Zeph did one last year, and somebody else did one a while before that. So the way it gets made is all the little strips get cut. They're called tambour slats or tambour strips. Okay. And then there's a piece of canvas. Here, I'll show you in the plans. That's probably the most difficult part of this whole thing, is getting those tambours right. Let's take a look at how they do it, because it is interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a few pages back. In fact, they may just show it making a tambour door. So we'll take a look at this. All right, so what we'll be doing is making fairly thick tambour slats and creating a rabbet along the edge that rides in the groove, as opposed to very thin strips, okay? And you don't have to rabbet the edge after it's glued up. But here's how they do it, okay? So basically what you have is you've got all these slats cut, just tons of them, and we've got a jig here. It's just a box that allows you to do things square. You lay canvas, a light canvas material, I think I can get it at Joann's or something like that, or Hobby Lobby, on there, and then you put, here we go, then you roll, you brush contact cement, contact adhesive on the surface of the back of the slats and on the surface of the canvas. And as you lay it down there, you start rolling it. So in other words, it makes it a flexible guy. See if there's another picture of it here. So, okay, so this kind of gives you an idea. These guys are going to get glued to the canvas, so then it's flexible. Then it can sit here and it can roll in and out. Okay, if that makes any sense at all. You will see that process. That's a pretty neat process. And it's not easy to do. It really is. We've had some difficulties with it in the past. So other than some basic adjustments here and there, making sure everything fits just right. I don't know if that's probably not long enough. Grab a longer clamp. All right, let's see what this looks like. So it's actually kind of interesting getting this thing put together, because you have to get these dividers in here as well. Get this here. Close them up. So we've got pretty good joints, okay? Looks like that's lined up well. And we're gonna get there, I think, folks. Eventually, one of these days. So basically, if you can kind of see in the back now, I hope. I don't know how good your picture is. See what that camera's showing. Okay, so let's get you a little closer. Okay, so basically, the tambour door, so you can see it, okay, it's going to slide in from the back, right? It'll get fed in from here, okay? Open position, it sits, the front of it sits about right here, closed obviously all the way down. And that's what this groove right here is. There's going to be a false back that hides the tambour when it's open. So when you open the cabinet doors or you open the tambour, slide it up, you won't see the tambour looking from the front of the cabinet. It's going to be hidden by this false back right here, okay? But that's our tambour slot right there to feed it in. So imagine being able to make those turns and do it smoothly. Those tambours, those slats have to be done pretty well. So, okay. So, yeah, Caleb, it's going to be one of those things, it's going to be very hard for you to understand or picture it until you see it done. I hope I can get canvas this weekend, because I'm hoping this is assembled. I'm still going to make the false back. I'm going to use solid stock for that, so I got to glue something up. So I'll probably glue it up tomorrow, get it planed down and everything on Monday, get the dividers done for the drawers, and then get everything ready for assembly. Okay, so yeah, probably next week or the following week we should be able to do the tambours. So we're kind of in line to get it done for the semester, which is nice. Okay, but I think it's going to be pretty good. Hopefully I don't screw it up too bad. You can see we'll have, I'll back out a little bit. Yeah, this is looking at it from the back side, but there's 2 large drawers at the bottom, 3 smaller drawers here. We'll take a look at the plans, and that'll give you an idea. Oh, here we go. That's a good picture of it. Okay. I'm not going to buy these pulls. Main reason is they're like 34 bucks a piece. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. I mean, that's too much dough. And then add this one on. This one here, this latch is probably another 40, 45. That's just coconuts. I'm not going to do that. But once we get it built and everything, I don't think I'm going to worry about holders for the inside. I'm hoping you guys are back before too long, you know, at the very least the second semester. And then you guys can come up with what you want to keep in here and where we hang it and things like that. Okay, so it'd be nice if you guys were a little part of it as well. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. Do me a favor, and as an exit ticket, just go ahead and type your name in the chat. Once you've done that, you can take off. It's Thursday, one more day, Friday. You guys take care of yourselves. I'm really, really glad you're here, and I don't feel as alone in this stupid shop, but thank you for being here and getting here on time. Have a great day, great evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Take care of yourselves.